Numbers are obviously important,
Yes.
but just fucking enjoy it, mate. It's the
Fun.
thrill. You'll have good days, you'll have bad days, probably more bad days than good days. So celebrate your little wins. So that's one thing people can't regulate, and they become too business-like. That's another problem I've seen. People who've had really structured sales training, they just become too serious.
How are you?
Good, man. Good. All good.
Good.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Now, long story short, I obviously support Jabby. He's a good friend of mine. I emceed the event.
Okay.
I made relations with him. So, and this kind of intertwines quite well with CMSEO as well. You just get to network with more people.
So, around sales
Yeah.
and networking, right? How would you rate it, in your experience, the constraints of a one-on-one relationship in a situation like this versus the one-to-many online? What's your favorite?
Definitely face to face.
Yeah.
You've been in sales, right? So I wish I could turn the clock back. If we could sell SEO door to door, it'll be fucking amazing. I would
Okay.
love that. I would
Okay.
absolutely love that. Imagine physical offices existed. I would just buy out in the field. I'm a bit of an old-fashioned bloke because some of my sales tactics kind of reveal that. So, for example, I've got this ACE framework for LinkedIn outreach, right? But we never pitch after doing certain things. But the first value-driven engagements are usually voice notes, right? Why? Because we all know sales is also, apart from the framework and the discovery funnels, it's also an emotional game, right? And I always lived by one mantra: like, trust, win. If they like you, they'll trust you. If they trust you, you'll win. So how do you generate that likeness which equates into trust or translates into trust? Is come across as a bit human. And the voice notes, sometimes they deliver that.
Yeah.
And then you graduate into your Loom videos, XYZ, you get them on a discovery funnel. So for me, building relations there, and I can factually guarantee, at least it's worked for me, when I did with Whitepress, if we weren't going to conferences, I probably would have quit SEO industry in the first year. As you know, I stumbled across in the SEO space.
You were in the hospitality business.
Yeah, for like 24
Right.
years back in the UK, Gordon Ramsay, all of that shit I did there. And it was just because I moved to Poland with my Polish wife. I had nothing
Right.
better to do. As like I had run into Tom D, who's the current CEO. So that MRR, which I built up to from nothing to 500,000 in 18 months,
Oh, wow.
I'll be honest, thanks to conferences. But obviously you need to go in with a framework. You do conversations which are highly value driven, and then you make sure you book meetings already for your next week. And you're dropping text bit before that, so the show rate's higher. It's not just spray and pray mentality.
Yeah. Do you have any like golden rules of sales? Things that must 100% happen and things that could absolutely never happen?
People just fucking pitch way too soon, right? So if you take the pressure off that you don't have to close on every call, and you've done your prep work, you've done your homework. I mean, there's a very strict framework of your discovery call. Like I follow the 7 pillars, right? First 3 being, and I'm happy to give it away, it's like your rapport building, agenda setting and framework, and discovery set. Now your discovery funnel has to be good 12 to 15 minutes. If you don't know what the exact problem is with the business, you can never show the value your service can do. You know, so let's assume you were a SaaS CMO, right? And I get you on a discovery call after my appointment setter has done all the pain building. So I've done my rapport building. My agenda setting would be, right, Alejandro, normally how we run these calls is I'll build up on the questions Joel already asked you on that setter call. I need some more data, right? I've done my prep work. Hopefully, we could be partners. If not, lovely meeting you. At least I'll point you in the right direction. So I'm already disarming it, but then there are more caveats to it. Like my email title, my LinkedIn profile does not say BDR or sales manager. It says SEO growth manager, or it says SEO growth director. Little psychological things, but it does the trick, right? And then a good 12, 15-minute discovery chat, right? And it's not just about SEO challenges. Tell me a bit more about the business. What are your marketing challenges? How are you generating leads? What's the ROI on that, right? Why haven't you done SEO in the past? What's changed now? If you don't change it, what's the cost to the business? You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you hopefully pivot into other stuff which is planned.
Things you see in sales that still happen but shouldn't.
When people are following up after discovery calls, it becomes a pitting email, please buy from me, rather than a value-driven follow-up. Simple example being, standard email would say, just circling back, you might have missed, right? Have you made up a mind? Have you had a chat with your business partner? What we normally do is, Alejandro, I think I forgot to mention this new video of Julian Goldie, that N10 stuff you were talking about, see if that makes sense. Dropping my calendar link in case you want to talk more about this, additionally to the proposal I've sent you. So the CTA is quite bottom of the funnel, so to speak. And you know it, I don't need to tell you, 50% of the sales come from follow-ups. But as long as your discovery call framework is aimed for a 1 call, max 2 call close. And if you're not doing your BAM FAM in your discovery calls, you're fucked. Yeah, your pipeline is a smoke screen.
A mentality that you see often, especially in CEOs who are also doing sales, that is costing them money.
Yeah. So they can't take criticism, and they are very their ego, because they think, oh, this is my baby, so I have to be right. But they forget they're in that box, someone else providing a perspective.
Yep.
But there's a way of tackling that. You know you're going to be offending a CEO, so you need to soften the blow by coming up with facts and figures, providing a competitor case study for them to say, oh fuck, why did I not think of that earlier on?
So you come up with the math, you express it properly, you tell a good story.
What you said.
Okay, works. Okay, what kind of emotional constraints or emotional barriers do you see people struggle with when it comes to selling?
It goes back to the likability factor.
Okay.
I think to be a great salesperson, you need to have a fantastic sales, your sense of humor. Fantastic sense of humor. How I normally break the ice, apart from the standard how's the weather, which football fucking team you follow, weekends, I have this ability to make fun of myself, and I do that within the first 2 to 3 minutes. It just gets them to open up more, and I lean into that emotional angle. Why? Because it gets more pain out when I get into my discovery funnel. So that's one thing people can't regulate, and they become too business-like. That's another problem I've seen. People who've had really structured sales training, they just become too serious.
Correct. So I wanted to ask you, because you pointed on something, right? So you just mentioned right now something that works from a tactical standpoint. You laugh about yourself, so the image that they have about you in terms of the defensiveness lowers, and they will listen to you. Tactically, it works. So when you've done sales for as long as you've done it, all those tactics are integrated in yourself. Fantastic. How do you ensure with yourself that you don't become manipulative in a negative way?
It's hard to control that. You will see that coming in. And the best way of doing it is when I consult some of the agencies, you put up guardrails, not just for your SDRs, but for yourself, self-awareness. So I normally QC my own calls twice a week. One of the guys I follow, you probably know his name, Cole Gordon, $100 million sales setup, like an absolute giant. He still reviews his own calls. And that's the only way of keeping yourself in check. Because sometimes when you get up to a specific brand authority, like if you go and ask your sales team feedback about yourself, they're going to sugarcoat it. They're never going to fucking tell you the truth. So what I sometimes do, I still do it, is if I've done a SEO call, if I've got a site campaign going on, I sometimes send it to one of my existing clients. Listen, you've got the QC SOP from me. You know how to temp check it. Rate me. Apart from the QCing I'm doing. So I do it on a Tuesday and I do it on a Friday.
So your team rates you also?
That's right.
I love that.
It has to work this way.
Anything else about sales people should know before we call it?
Enjoy it. Numbers are obviously important, but just fucking enjoy it, mate. It's the thrill. You'll have good days, you'll have bad days. Probably more bad days than good days. So celebrate your little wins.